Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to crumb coat a cake, and this is a step before icing the cake. It just makes it a lot easier. You crumb coat it so you don't get as many crumbs in it, and it's a lot easier and faster to ice if you do this step beforehand. You don't always have to crumb coat. If it's just like a sheet cake or something like that, you can just ice it once it's to like room temperature or a little bit colder than that. But again, it's just a lot easier to crumb coat before you ice. So what I did was put a little bit of icing on my board so the cake can stick to it. And then to grip my plate, I'm just gonna put a damp cloth, kind of like you guys do with a cutting board. So I'll just set that on top of it. Then I have my two 6-inch cake rounds right here. And I'm just gonna cut them with a bread knife. Don't cut yourself, so just cut off the tops a little bit. Don't cut all the way down. This is the way I've learned. Don't cut all the way down to the edge, because then your cake is gonna get like a lot shorter. But just get the like mound off, I guess. Okay, so there are your cake tops, or your cake rounds. So just stick it right on there on top of the icing that we put on there. And then we already have our buttercream here. And in between layers, don't put too much, because that's when, I don't know if you've ever seen like a cake and it has like a bulge on it, kind of, has like a bulge going all the way around it. That's usually because of too much icing, or because the icing isn't stable enough too. So we'll just put a little bit on there, and then we're gonna take our offset spatula and just spread it around. Okay? Okay, so once you have it spread around, and again, it's okay to get crumbs in it because that's what this is, it's a crumb coat. So then you'll take your second layer and you'll make sure it's pressed down good. And you'll take some more icing, and then I do the edges first. So just kind of go through, and that excess icing that you took from the middle, that you didn't need all in the middle, you can just use to spread around. Okay? So just kind of get a good coat. And your cake might move a little bit because it's not completely stuck down and dried yet, but it will stay. Okay. Then I'll put a little bit on the top. Okay. And then you'll spread it around on the top. This is the same thing I do with icing cakes. Spread it around on the top. Okay. Oops. My cake is tearing a little bit. So what we did was we baked the cake, but then we put it in the freezer. I don't ever like ice or crumb coat any of my cakes like out of the oven. This is a bad habit. This is what we did. If your table's clean, this is what we did. We used our tables as like to make colors and everything like that. But again, I don't know if that's okay with Miss Poole, but okay, so just get enough icing all the way around. I would say the most important part is to make sure every little like opening is completely sealed, because it'll get dry. And that's what you're doing, is you're preventing it from drying out until you get to the icing step. Okay. A little bit more. It's okay if you have extra on there, because we're just going to scrape it off. Here we go. Most of the time when we crumb coated cakes, it was for weddings. So if they're crumb coated, they can sit in the cooler for like 2 days, and it'll be okay. Okay. And then take your bench scraper. Sorry, I forgot to explain that. Take your bench scraper and just bring it along the sides. This works really well. Okay. And then you'll come through and you'll just pull it inwards. The cleaner crumb coat job you have, the better your icing job is going to be, and the faster, and it's just going to go so much smoother the better you do with your crumb coating. Okay. 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 So So it looks like my cake is a little bit almost like sideways, so I'm gonna see if I can just spread that out with the icing. Like see if it'll straighten up. Okay, so everything is sealed and it's pretty smooth. So the next step after you would do this would be to ice it. You don't always have to put it in the refrigerator, but if you don't have time to ice it right now, it's totally okay to go into the refrigerator and it will keep it moist and it won't dry out. Okay? Is that good? Okay. Did it stop? Oh, sorry.